Audio Jungle.
Covering few topics in this course, which are what is HTML, Doctype, HTML editors, HTML elements, HTML attributes, HTML frames, HTML layout, XHTML, DHTML, and finally the HTML forms. So first we'll start with what is HTML. So HTML is basically, it stands for Hypertext Markup Language. As it itself says, it's a markup language. A markup language is used to distinguish text using tags. So basically, it's only a language to define web page. There is no other language which defines a web page. It is a set of markup tags. There are many markup tags which are available in HTML to define a particular type of text or particular type of element to display on a web page. So we will start looking into how HTML page is made of. So we will start with Notepad. It's a plain text language, so we can use a simple Notepad to create a web page. Basically, HTML is made of tags, and there are this HTML. This is the HTML tag, which defines it's an HTML page. We can save it. Let's save it in a folder. Okay. So we'll save this file in a folder. We'll save this as index. Index is the first file. This is the first file which gets rendered when you hit a folder in HTML in a web page. Index will be the file name, and we will put extension of HTML, which says it's an HTML file. We will save this file. Now you can see this is an HTML file, index.html. We can open this file in a browser now. We will take this in a browser. So right now the file is blank. There is nothing in HTML. We have just defined an HTML tag. It just says that it's an HTML page. But inside an HTML page, there are two more tags which are required to build an HTML page. One is head tag, and other is a body tag. As you can see, I'm writing two types of tags, same which are same, but one has a slash and other has no slash in start. I will just align this to properly know. Okay. So this is an HTML tag, and it has similar HTML tag, but it has a slash in it. That's an end tag. It is called an end tag. So everything in HTML is enclosed in HTML in a tag with a starting tag and an end tag. So in HTML, this is the HTML, this is the starting tag, this is the end tag. This defines this is an HTML. This is a head tag, and this is a body tag. Head tag will not display anything which is written inside a head tag. In body tag, you can write anything which will display. So we'll write this is our first HTML page, and we will save this. Now if you refresh, you can see whatever we type is showing on in the browser. This is how we define an HTML page. There are, then you say, okay, if we, what happens if we remove the tags and we will just put some plain HTML? Let's see. We'll write this is a web page. It still shows, right? But this is only for now. We are only we are not only showing text, a simple text, a one-line text. But when we have to show multiple paragraph and multiple or images or any other stuff like video and everything, that needs to be understood by the browser. So that's why we need an HTML, we need a tag to create an HTML page. Right now it's only simple text, that's why we can directly write it and browser will render it. But if you want to insert some image, some video, or some other stuff, we have to include the tags. So you can see the tags are not rendered. Just whatever it is written inside the body type will be rendered. So this is our first web page. It's a simple way. If you make changes, save the file and refresh it, you will see the changes on the browser. See? So basically it's made of HTML, head and body. Next, so now we have already defined an HTML page. So next is Doctype. So Doctype is simply a declaration of document. But we already declared a document, right? We already said it's an HTML document by declaring the HTML extension, and we also declared HTML tag to define that it's a HTML page. Then why do we need a Doctype? So basically, HTML is evolving from many years, and others are and other than adding new tags to HTML, there are a set of rules or instruction which were defined by W3C. That's a worldwide web consortium. So right now, basically there are three HTML versions used in recent times, which are HTML 4.0, XHTML 1.0, and HTML5. So basically, depending on the HTML version, we have to define the document type or document type definition. We have to define a document type definition. So general syntax, how we define a doc type. So general syntax is a doc type, a root element, public, and FPI or URI, and the URI which is linked to the set of instructions which are defined by W3C. The internal subset declaration and then end tag, ending of the. So where this doc type is defined, this doc type is defined at the start of all HTML documents. That is, before this HTML tag, a document type is always defined. Let's see. There is another type of syntax for this general syntax for a document type is doc type, root elements, system, URI, and inclined substance, but we will mostly use the first type. If you want to go, if you want to know more about the document type, the following link, this link is available. You can check the link for more type of document types, but we are going to now only look into the HTML4 4.0, XHTML 1.0, and HTML5 document types. So let's see the HTML 4.01 document types. Now there is only strict document type. Now you can see this is a Doctype HTML. HTML is a root type which we have defined. Then there is public. This is what we call the public FPI. This is the FPI we have defined, and then the URI which sets this which set of rules are to be used. So the strict has strict rules, and it does not allow any it does not allow to decorative or some HTML tags. It's strict about the rules for which the HTML tags are used. Then there is a transitional. The transitional DT allows publics and attributes that have been deprecated and not being used. So it is supported. It's like it has a legacy support. The tags or attributes which were earlier used and now are deprecated will be can be rendered using the transitional. So you can see that there is a Doctype HTML public and W3C that public is mentioned, the URI and HTTP. You can see difference in those two Doctype is this strict.dtd, the document type definition URL is different for both, and in the strict there is no definition of transitional. It's just blank, that W3C DTD HTML 4.0. So there is no mention of transitional, so it's a strict. But in transitional you can see that there's a mention of transitional over here, and if you see the URL, there is a loose.dtd. So actually it's loosely defined, that's why it's loose.dtd, and it supports the deprecated elements and attributes which were earlier there. So it's loose.dtd. And third is frames. The transitional is majorly used document type in 4.0. Okay, and the third is frames. Frames, you can see that there is a frame set tag. So there are a few tags which defines a frame set in HTML, which we will learn for later. So when we are using these frames, we can use this Doctype. So basically, Doctype defines which set of rules HTML is going to use, or which type exact type of rules, or we can say the instructions HTML is going to follow. That we have to define at the start of each and every HTML document. So let's see where it exactly is. You can see. So as I said earlier, it is defined before the HTML tag. Let's copy this. Let's copy the transition. Okay, so I'll show where to put exactly. Okay, so we have to define the Doctype before the HTML. As you can see, this is the Doctype we have defined. We will save this. We will refresh the page. So what's the difference? Why did we define a Doctype? And earlier we did not define a Doctype, but there was no change right now in the web page rendering. We did not see any change. But if you don't define a doc type, then there is a problem that it goes in a quex mode. The quex mode is different for each and every browser. So cross-browser rendering will be different if we don't use a doctype. That's why we use a doctype to define an HTML. If we don't use a doctype, then it will go in a quex mode, and this different types of browser will show the text or the web page differently. It will use their own set of rules to define that HTML. Okay, so now let's see the XHTML. Next is XHTML 1.0 doc types. Here also we can see that there is a strict doc type. The XML. In this XHTML, we have to define the XML version, the encoding, and the most important is the XMLNS. The XMLNS version we are using XML language type. We have to define this same, that it's a HTML document. You can see here it's the same format we have used, the doc type HTML public, and then the URL, the FPI, and then the URL, which we have, HTML1. It says HTML1 strict.ttd. Next is the transitioner. It's the same XML version 1.0, encoding UTF-8, doctype, public, then the FPI, then the URL. It says XHTML1 transitional.ttd, and also the XMLNS is defined. For strict and transitional, the XMLNS is the same only. The last is same as the frame set. This is also same. The set of, if we use the frame set tags to define our HTML document, then we have to use the frame set doctype. So these are the major doctypes which are used currently. There are many more doctypes other than these are available, but these are major, and we can see you can use this URL www.w3.org.qa/ this URL to know more of the document types. Next is HTML5 document type. Oh, it's simple. There's nothing. We don't have to define any document type or DTD or something like that. We just have to put a doc type HTML. And mind it, this is a case sensitive. We have to use this in the capital and the HTML. This is as simple as that. So the HTML has made it simple. So rather than using this big doc types, which we can't even remember how to write. Of course, we copy this and somewhere, and we keep it volumes. If we are using HTML or we are using HTML, then we have to use these doc types. And if we are using HTML5, then we have to use just the doc type HTML. So that's it for today. We have covered today 2 topics from the tutorial content. What is HTML and the doc type. I hope you understood whatever we have I have told you today. And if you have any questions, you can ask me now.
Hina?
Yeah.
Okay. No questions.
Okay, thanks.
So, you're done with the demo?